Hi, how are you doing? I'm Dr. Andrew Chappell. I'm the head coach at ProPrepCoaching, and if you're watching this video, you're thinking about either competing for a first time or you're coming back to competing, and you're curious to know what different people say about competing to try and further your experience going on in the future, and so that you're maybe better placed to deal with the pressures of getting ready for competition. So every single year when I prep people for competition, when they finished the season, one thing that I get them to do is I get them to carry out a reflective process. So I get them to carry out a survey for me, asking them a series of questions about how they found the experience, what they got out of it, and what things they would take going forward. And I mean, I get them to do that for a number of obvious reasons. One, so they can identify what their own best practices are. Two, so they can identify areas in which they need to try and improve for going forward. But the third reason is so that I can make videos like this and then feed back to future competitors so that they might be better placed to be better placed in the future to compete. Now, I can tell everybody what it's going to be like and what their experiences are, but I always think it's very good to have a collaborative effort and hear what different people experience when it comes to competing, because no two people's experiences are exactly the same. So, without any further ado, if you do a comp prep with us, we'll get you to fill out one of these documents. So on our sheets, we've got something called the end of season contest reflections, and it looks like this. And you can see here, there's a series of questions we ask you. I think there's about 10 questions here asking you about why did you start the journey? Was it enjoyable? Was it what you expected? What did you have to sacrifice? What did you learn? What were highlights? What was challenging? Did you enjoy the routine? Has it helped your self-esteem and confidence? What have you learned, and has it filtered across the different areas in your life? What would you do differently next ring round? What are key lessons you've taken? Has success changed for you going at this? And what free tips would you give someone else? And then we ask you to do a little physique assessment. What things do you think you can improve on? And then any other notes or thoughts. So you can see how a number of these things could be very useful for potential competitors going forward into the future. And if you go into the competitive guidelines, which you're on already, and you visit the ProPrep website and you click on the What's New page for the articles, then you can identify this article here, which is Athletes' Reflections of Their Bodybuilding Seasons. And there's a little link down here that you can follow. If you click that, that'll take you directly to the website so that you can read the actual article. So, as I say, I've been doing this for a number of years. Some people are more receptive to filling out these forms than other people, but I have managed to put together a decent database now of different people's reflections on the competitive season. And I'm not going to go through every single reflection, because I think that's really a task for you to do in your own time, to identify different things which people experience throughout. And I think it'll be useful for you to do. Now, one thing that I think is worth mentioning is that people know it's going to be tough, but I think they underestimate the mental battle. And that's one thing that always comes up time and time again about the mental battle and the mental aspect of competing. There's 3 tables in this document. We've got female reflections. All the females are first timers. We've got male reflections. Some of the male competitors have competed a number of times before. And then there's a sort of summary between the two. So I've picked out what I thought were key things which the males and females were talking about and tried to sort of summarize them to save you reading the whole thing. But some people will enjoy reading the full document. Now, as I've said already, everyone seems to have their own experience with it, and that's personality driven. That's their job that plays a role in it. It's who they are in it. I'm not entirely certain that there's a massive difference between the males and the females, if there is at all. And then of course there are some common threads. So what I'd suggest you do is just have a little read of the preamble, which explains what I've done, and then you'll find we've got 9 competitors, all females of different ages, so you can relate to these different female competitors. And these are their answers to the various different questions. And you can just go through them all, as I say, in their own time. And that'll make you slightly better equipped to understand the different things that people are going up against, different things that people are experiencing. Here's a much younger version of myself with a couple of my athletes. as I say, males are not as good at filling out the paperwork as the females, and they don't always put as much into the reflections, I don't think, as the females, but that's maybe up for debate. And then again, here's a much younger version of myself, and then some summary of the males and the females together. So please do go check it out. Hopefully you find this useful, and if you want to discuss it or you want to share this article with other people, as long as you credit ProPrepCoaching, we're absolutely okay with that. And with that all in mind, I'm going to wish you good luck on your competitive journey and your comp preps for the future. And as always, if you need anything from ProPrepCoaching, then be sure to get in touch and let us know how it is that we can help you if you've got any queries, questions, responses, or anything like that. All right, thanks very much. Ciao, ciao.